Hello and welcome to another actual fluency video, and today I'm going to take an inside look into Fluent in 3 months premium. And the cool part is, of course, that it's made by Benny Lewis, and of course, you know, Fluent in 3 months, the blog, and I recommend you check that out if you haven't already. Lots of language learning tips and tricks, but do that after you've seen this video. So what is Fluent 3 months premium? Well, basically Fluent 3 months premium is Benny Lewis's kind of membership site. And don't worry, it's not a monthly fee or anything. You have to just pay once and then you're a member for life. So that's kind of cool. And in this premium membership, he's included a lot of the content that he's created over the years, some of the products that he's sold, and he's sold for quite a high amount of money, and also additional behind the scenes resources, interviews, and lots of things that I'm just going to take you through. Before I show you anything, just want to say that the usual price for this is $97, but that's lifetime, includes all support, includes everything, and he also updates it frequently. He adds things, adds new videos, interviews, and so on and so forth. So for me, it's kind of a good investment. And also, if you've been following Benny for a while and you've benefited from his free blog, or maybe even appreciated the advice that he's come with, I think that it's a very fair price. But anyway, let's take a look at what you get. So when you log into Fluent 3 months premium, you use fi3mplus.com for some reason. I'm not going to ask him about that, but the first thing you'll see in the premium content menu that you'll get access to is the Speak from Day One video series. And this is a series of 8 videos, and it's very cool because it's kind of a, if you follow Benny, he always talks about speaking from day one, and you might be saying, well, how do I do it? And this eight video series goes through from beginning to actually talking to a native speaker. And this is a fabulous sort of video series if you struggle to speaking. And I think personally that's one of my mistakes, and I've learned a lot from this, is that I just, you know, I learned some words, I learned some grammar, but how do you actually start speaking with people? I think that was an important thing. So that's very nice that it's in here. It's also used to be a premium product. The second thing in the menu here is the language hacking guide. Oops. And the cool part of this is that this was kind of the, as he writes here, this is kind of a precursor to the Fluent 3 months book he wrote. And so this is kind of a collection of his tips and tricks. What's really cool is that this used to actually sell for almost as much as the entire premium program. The list price for the hacking guide was, I believe, 75 euros, which in dollars would translate to almost $95. So this is basically what you're paying for the premium. So if we ignore everything else that's included, this is actually equivalent in price. But anyway, the language hacking guide, so that's a bit like Fluent 3 months, goes through the steps of how to sort of learn a language and speak it fast, which is all Benny's about. And the cool thing is you get it in 23 languages, or actually 24 plus the English, and you also get a free audiobook version, which I think is nice. That's a good plus for premium members. There's some interviews, masterclass video interviews, and these are quite nice tidbits, and you see Richard Simcard, Luca Lampriello, Anthony Lauder, Alex Rawlings, Idaho's Ness. You know, these are all very big names, and they share their wisdom, and yeah, quite enjoyable. The extended interviews are kind of like the interviews I do on the podcast, and these are very interesting because they're with people that are not so often interviewed. For instance, Professor Kells, I've never seen an interview with him in a sort of a polyglot setting. I've only seen him interviewed in a sort of a academic setting. So it's very nice to see an interview with him. It's quite a long interview as well, going through the process he's doing. The guy who created Anki, I mean, that's quite unusual to see as well. Don't know Katsumoto, all Japanese all time, but if you're into studying Japanese, I can imagine this is good. Moses McCormick as well, very interesting person. He speaks so many languages. Of course not to C2 level, but he speaks a lot of languages with people around his hometown, and I find that kind of cool. And Scott Young was the guy who did the university degree, I believe, independently, and he tried to see how fast he could do a 4-year degree, I believe, and try to do a 4-year degree in 1 year, and he was successful, I believe. And Studio Raj, you of course know as the polyglot. Yeah, he's a really cool guy, interesting person. He was also in the Skype Me Maybe video, and obviously speaks a ton of languages. Very cool dude. And these are just the interviews you get right now, and I know that Benny is working on adding more as well. So premium video tutorials, I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can see here on the left hand side kind of the general idea of them. And these are also some that are being added all the time, because when I joined the premium program, I think there was only one available. So now he's made a couple more, and these are basically just videos teaching you how to improve your language learning. So these are kind of cool as well, and giving some tips and tricks. Let's go to, okay, and this is the sort of the final thing, and this is actually my favorite thing in the whole premium program, because imagine you want to start to learn a language, like let's say you want to start to learn French. So what do you do when you want to start learning a language? Well, you start out by finding the resources, right? How can I learn to do this? What about grammar, pronunciation, and everything? If you go to this resource kit for French, you'll see an absolutely amazing selection of resources. And this is just an example. Of course, they're all here for these languages. And these are quite common languages for polyglots to learn, so I'm sure some of them will interest you. But it's just so interesting, or it just makes my life so much easier, that when I want to learn French, I can just go here and I can just start at starter words and phrases, learn the cognates. You go to dictionaries, free or cheap guided courses, books, learning materials, pronunciation, forums, tests, video immersion, audio immersion, reading immersion, native level tests, smartphone apps, games, places you can meet speakers, children's corner, and even more. And it's like, and there's even blog posts for from Fluent 3 months. So I think that, you know, our time is valuable, right? So I think actually this is my favorite thing here. With everything else that I mentioned, this is totally my favorite resource, because it saves me so much time, and time is the most important thing we have. And I can just go here, and I'm like, okay, I'm intermediate in French now. I'm not really, but I will be one day. Okay, I'll go here. There you go. It's right there for me. Audio immersion, it's all there, ready for me. And you see, it's the same with the other languages. And I believe there's also new languages being added as well. And this is invaluable, actually, I think, to have this kind of help where you can just be guided and you don't have to think about it. So that's my favorite thing. The last thing you get is also, if you know the book Fluent 3 months, you also get a bit of a bonus here with each chapter. He goes into, he gives a summary of the chapter, and he gives some related content. I wouldn't say this is a huge sort of bonus for the price, but I would say it's a nice little added bonus if you enjoyed the book, or if you want some extras out of the book, the reading experience. And I think the book is a nice read anyway, so I would recommend this as well. And that's basically it. And apart from everything else I've shown you, you also get, you know, like I said, the membership is a one-time fee. I think it's well worth it. And you also get support from the Fluent 3 months premium team. And to top it all off, you can cancel your subscription within 30 days if you don't like it. But I can't see why you would do that with all this information available. To me, that's definitely worth hanging on to. And also just the fact that new content is being added. So by the time you actually join from seeing this video, Benny would have, you know, added more. And therefore, this membership, the value of the membership just keeps going up. But you can't be sure that the price stays at this low point. Benny might just say, well, okay, I've added, you know, 100% more content in the last year. I think it's time to push the price to $150 or maybe even $200, which I think is still a fair price. But the point is, if you buy now at $97, you're kind of locking that in for life. So that's basically my little review here. And there's also some other resources here that's not part of the premium. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed looking at just what the premium had to offer. And let me know if you join, and I'll see you on the inside.